Let's see, time now is 11 minutes past 9. It's that time of weekend, Saturday morning, when we discuss the latest COVID news and developments.
Now, today we're going to be looking at what the end of restrictions may mean for people in England. Of course, the Prime Minister suggesting this week that all remaining measures could be scrapped, likely on the 24th of February. That's a month earlier than planned.
So, Mark Ansell has been finding out what it means to people who are especially vulnerable to the virus.
Life in and out of lockdown has hardly been child's play for new parents. The prospect of all COVID restrictions lifting in 2 weeks' time is very welcome.
I think it's going to be really beneficial for many parents, especially for those whose children have been born in lockdown. It's been very lonely, very isolated, and yeah, it's just nice to have that bit of normality now.
I think it's the best thing for everyone, especially like me as a mum. Being in pregnancy and then more my maternity in lockdown on your own, it was a struggle, so opening up like places like this has been amazing.
It's great news for local businesses and for schools and education in general, and just feeling like as long as people use a bit of common sense.
Playmania at Elsecar in Barnsley nearly went down the pan because of the impact of the pandemic. The legal requirement to self-isolate after a positive test is expected to be lifted, which will make life easier for the team here.
It has been quite difficult to manage staff absences at short notice, so in that respect, yes, that is good news for small companies such as us.
But what are your concerns?
For both staff and customers, we still want everyone to feel safe. We know that the virus just hasn't disappeared, so we want to continue to be mindful of that.
Kathy Rowland runs a primary and an infant school in Sheffield. She's concerned that easing restrictions too soon could backfire.
The reality is if they're not having to isolate, they might come back when they've got symptoms and then they're going to spread it out worse. And so therefore, actually, we are in many ways where we might be prolonging the situation because we might be spreading it worse.
Claire Maxted-Wiggins from Boston Spa lives with multiple illnesses which put her at greater risk from COVID. As restrictions fall, anxiety levels rise for people who are clinically extremely vulnerable, like Claire.
All these changes are coming way too soon. That's my personal opinion, and I understand everyone wants to get back to normal and everyone's got their own opinions, but for someone who's been shielding or keeping safe for the last 2 years, I find it really difficult, and I think I will struggle for a while because my anxiety was already bad. And it's been a very lonely world for the last 2 years.
Life is about to get easier for some and yet more difficult for others as restrictions ease. Mark Ansell, BBC News.